Welcome back, everybody, to this broadcasting. We're broadcasting from several parts of Mexico and Colombia. I would like to say hello to Luis Gonzalez, but Luis Gonzalez is not available. So, Alonso, how are you? How are you today?
Hi, hi. I'm from talking from Tabasco.
Fine, fine, fine. Very good, very good, very good. As that song.
Yes, yes.
Hey, Oscar Padron, how are you doing, man?
Hey guys, I'm really excited for stay again here
Hmm.
and practice our English. I don't know.
It is important to practice. It is important to improve, And last but not least, Luis Montoya from Colombia.
Hey, what's up, bros?
So far, so good. So there's not Luis available right?
No, no,
He's no longer
No,
here. I'm not sure. Okay, he's gonna connect again, maybe soon. Hopefully not. I don't know. Maybe he's busy. Today we have this gonna be our second or third
Third,
broadcasting.
third,
Third one
third.
yeah.
officially. I don't know. Who knows? Well, maybe I don't know. In English, just to as Oscar said before, to practice a little bit and trying to improve our English. And well, do we have some comments here? Is Naid Manso from Mexico again. Buenas noches a todos. Try to write in English, and do we need to have a rule for this kind of transmissions. We only gonna read comments, questions, cheers, and so on and so forth in English. Okay, because we like to encourage our people who's trying to follow us to keep trying to improve as well. So, for example, here is Andrea Munoz. Good night, everybody. Everyone. Good night, Andrea. Who's following us? So amazing. Someone is sending a message. Okay.
Something happened with your sound.
Yeah.
Something happened with my song.
Yeah,
It's better now.
yeah,
yeah.
pretty good.
Okay, yeah. So this is
The mic.
the Abraham had the mic, right? Okay, so I don't know. We have about 2 months from our event in Colombia and the Team Connect. How are you
Yeah,
doing? How
we,
do you
we
feel
are
about
so
that?
excited about that.
Yeah.
We are
So
start. We stay too close the milestone and
mhm.
the objective of the people convoke. I don't know for staying in Bogota. It's really amazing, no?
Mhm. Yeah, there's a lot of people so excited about this event. We're gonna have exhibition side, and there's about 24 uh, lectures from what's 5 or 6 countries, more or less. There's a lot of people who attending,
Yeah, five
and well,
countries.
it's gonna be amazing. 2 days of a lot of conversation, a lot of connections, a lot of things related with inspection, not just in non-destructive testing, but also concrete, coatings, welding, plastic, and a couple of lectures about Industry 4.0 and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm so excited about that. We have Arturo Torres. Hi, everyone. And Irving Moreno. It was a great idea, this English Now session. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oscar, you told us
I,
about. Yeah, go ahead.
I really excited about the competition, the BT competition and UT competition. Are really exciting. I want to
Yes.
know who's gonna perform the competition and they're gonna winner.
Mhm.
Because it's so exciting. I really put all my energy about that.
You're gonna participate in this case. I'm pretty sure this is not fair because you are this almost
Don't
the
worry.
champion, the worldwide champion, almost. So you're gonna maybe it's not too
But
fair
I
to
wanna know.
compete.
I
But
wanna know how to do the competition.
How it's gonna be
how
the
gonna do?
competition?
Yes,
We're gonna plan in the
the,
first
the,
day.
the process.
four stages to pass and going to head to head and going to close to finish it. Close to people.
It, it,
I try. I this this month I will try to make a special sample to make an UT that nobody knows that, but it's a special thing that I'm gonna make because it's a different material. It's not a steel, so I'm gonna put some plates,
wow.
different materials.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna try to do that because everybody knows to make or perform UT in steel on
Mhm.
stainless steel, but you can do ultrasonic testing in every different material. So I'm gonna try to make it in different materials.
Okay.
Well, we have our first com, competitor, competitor, no, I don't
Competitor.
know,
Uh-huh.
competitor, Villanueva, Jose Villanueva is the first one. The Greñas
El
or
Greñas.
Scarlett, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Romulo,
Gabriel Richard.
I
Uh-huh.
think the Romulo said that they're gonna compete.
Okay.
Okay. Romulus gonna compete, or maybe his daughter, or something like that. Because if Romulo gonna compete, Romulo is a crack in ultrasonic testing. So yeah, maybe it's not too fair.
Yeah.
Paul Holloway is loose, so
Yeah, you beat
everything
Paul
can happen.
Holloway.
What,
You definitely beat.
what about the Colombian guys? Who can participate?
I don't know. Maybe some guys from the Gilberto company and the other company that I'm gonna buy the stand told me the APP machines that come in the Sona test, but don't
Okay.
confirm now. But they want to do that.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's a good competition for compare with
Mhm.
another people our performance, no? UT
Yeah.
performance, BT performance, and if you win, it's an amazing recognition. I don't know. All people
Yes.
in Latin America
You
uh,
gotta be a legend.
about
De-
this event, but
yeah.
I think it's
Definitely.
yeah,
I don't know you. I don't know you guys, but definitely, I think it's this kind of things, or this kind of achievements that you need to place in your CV. It's like that. I was the winner, the 2025 edition of NDTeam Connect in visual testing or ultrasonic testing, especially the first prize. So yeah, definitely,
Yes.
there's gonna be this kind of achievements
The,
that
the
support your
second,
career and recognize your skills and your performance in the industry.
the second competitor confirmed is Arturo Padilla. He's
Arturo Padilla.
a Romulus guy.
It's very good during ultrasonic testing. That guy, I'm pretty sure about that. We deal, uh, we share a lot of comments during the TO of the training course in Villahermosa 2 years ago, more or less. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
he's
yes,
a crack as well.
yes, yes,
And for the
yes.
new people
The
as
second
well,
one.
there is an important thing because sometimes we feel just kind of insecure about our skills because
Okay.
sometimes there are people that is not just used to be at the spotlight sometimes. So you know try to compete as well, try to join us and try to participate in this kind of event. Perhaps I don't know, maybe you're gonna be the winner or the second or third place. It's amazing as well. Because
Who's the best
sometimes
place?
people think, oh, maybe that guy is level 3 by ASNT or is level 3 by EASE or something like that. That is in the competition. Man, Montoya said, and I saw that Paul Holloway, that is almost the god of ultrasonic testing in the world from Canada, he was fired during the first stage, you know? So
Yeah.
don't worry about that. Just try to have fun, just try to compete, and that's it, and you're gonna be okay. Let's go through some comments. There is okay, well, there's some some special comments today because there is a lot of good news. First one, Jesus Diaz, who I would like to recognize Jesus Diaz because this week Jesus got his CWI. Okay, he's now a certified welding inspector. So he's saying, okay, thanks for the support. It's not my support. Definitely, it was 100% the Jesus work because he really worked so hard. So congratulations on your new certification, Jesus. I'm so proud of you,
Congrats.
and well, welcome to this CWI field,
Welcome
this
to the
club.
jungle.
As well, today, well, yesterday was the birthday of Jim Conkle. I didn't see Jim Conkle in the comments today, but well, he's a
Oh
big
yeah.
fan of NDTeam. So happy birthday to Jim Conkle. And today, actually, May 28th, is the birthday of my father's birthday. So he's turning 57 today. So happy birthday to Veracruz, Mexico. Okay. And well, that's it.
Happy birthday.
Jesus DSA, need to practice and improve your skills to feel good into a new challenge. Really? Okay, amazing. So, okay, good. So yeah, try to participate, guys, in this event. Have buenas noches from the Inicio
Good tournament.
Vidal, and so on and so forth. Amazing. Um, what do you think about this? I would like to bring this subject to the table because Oscar Padron tell us about 5 minutes before start that there are going to be some new requirements for the senior certified welding inspector uh, certification. I don't know if some of you try to log into the AWS website nowadays. There's a lot of changes. I really don't like the new um, website. What do you think? What are your opinions about that?
Uh, I don't know. Sometimes I feel it's not fair when you change the challenge to the get a certification,
Uh-huh.
because sometimes you think that you have to do each 3 years or 5 years in EVUA CNT. You have to do something and then change it. And if you change it after you make a recertification or something like this, is not fair.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think that the SCWI is changing the the path that how do you gonna make the new certification. I hope that it's putting more harder than the easier. Sometimes they make it the changes so easier to get the certification. So I hope that it's gonna be harder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Oscar.
thanks. I remember in maybe 10 years ago, I I I stay in Monterrey when present for the first time my CWI, and in the same room uh, was a people for present the SCWI, and I remember he come in with he came with a lot of books, whatever, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 books for present the SCWI exam. But now with the new update of AWS for the SCWI certification, a few years ago, it's in how do you say prometrics,
Mhm.
yeah. But now the new update is with four endorsement, welder qualifier, WPS qualifier, one for NDT coordinator, and the last one is for quality measurement of welding.
Give me a second because I would like to answer to this scammer because that guy is a fucking scammer. That is, well, man, I would like to see you trying to talk in English or at least in another language, man. Okay, so if you don't want to, provide something, a new idea, or try to encourage people to improve their English, just go and fuck up yourself. Please continue.
Actually, my first language was English, so just fuck out.
Okay,
Yeah.
and this new changes, I don't know. I don't happy for this. I prepare for the SCWI exam.
Mhm.
Uh, Maybe 6 months ago, the all SCWI exams are canceled.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and now
I just saw the
done.
document, the Oscar chair, and yes, it's true. Just for endorsement, you're gonna make it the SCOWI.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it feels like it's not fair because, for example, in my case, I usually try to explain to people who's trying to
This
get their
kind
CWI. Um, you know, like 15 years ago when I got my CWI, what's kind of different. We
Yeah,
need to make the test the same day. Three different tests, part A, B, and C, at the same day. It's crazy, man. And nowadays they just need to prepare one whole week to make the practical one, and after that they got 60 days to make the other two. Yeah, sometimes you feel like unfair, because, well, in my opinion, it was harder in the past. But sometimes we got this wrong idea because maybe it wasn't. Maybe, I don't know. The questions nowadays are harder than
yeah,
than they were. So how
yeah.
can we measure that? It happens more or less the same thing. I don't know if you, Montoya, had this experience making your ASNT level 3 tests in paper, like reading one. My first two were like this, and I felt more pressure, but a huge amount of pressure doing this kind of tests instead of in Pearson, because actually Pearson's, I'm pretty sure that it's a better system than Prometric. That is the system that used in AWS. So it's kind of, it feels so different. It feels also unfair sometimes.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. That's why I love the ISO certifications,
Yep.
because when I get the CSWI from the AUT data inspector,
Yep.
yeah, it's harder. And actually, even I have the level 2 on ultrasonic testing around 10 years. I
Mhm.
can do any ultrasonic testing in ISO. I just get the data interpreter of the AUT, no
Yeah.
more. I can do everything. So it's harder. And if you see the ISO 9712,
Mhm.
don't change. It's not change. You have to perform everything. If you want to make a thickness measure, you just have to thickness measure. And if you're gonna perform the welding inspection and the pipe, just pipe inspection. You can do tanks
Yeah.
and everything. So it's so specific. So you have to perform each practical test to each skills. So
Mhm.
I love ISO, but it's easier the American way.
Now, what do you think about make easier a way to get this kind of certification? Because sometimes we say, okay, now it's easier, for example, in the case of avoid all that stomach ache, of 30 days stomach ache when we had the first, at least during my CWI and during my two first ASMT certifications, because you need to wait at least 30 days, man, for the results. And nowadays, maybe exam is not easier.
Okay.
You can get your results the same day or uh, indeed after the
Yes.
test, you know. So you need to wait just maybe tolerate a couple of minutes of head and stomach ache, and that's it. So yeah, immediately things work so good sometimes, at least in order to avoid the stress.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this emotion, maybe that you can feel this kind of rush in your head about waiting the results?
It depends because if you have to fight with failure your soul, I love the immediately results.
Mhm.
But if you can fight with that, uh, man, it's gonna stressful a lot of time waiting the results. So it depends. It's the
Yeah,
same with the UT competition. A
yeah,
lot of people don't want to go because don't want to fight with the frustrated situation.
yeah,
My first time in the UT competition, even I, I think I appear in the one picture, no more.
yeah.
It's
With all
it,
that,
it
it was checked, you know.
yeah, a lot of people there and then it's one picture and no more. Even my name it doesn't appear in that.
Uh-huh.
In the second, I get the second
You
place. So
definitely show up, you
yeah,
know. Yeah,
it's different, but I have to fight with my frustration. And
yeah.
when I start the second competition, I say, I think, man, I gonna fuck off again.
Uh-huh.
When I pass the first stage, I say, okay, maybe I can do it. I put in more energy. I put in more, uh,
Uh-huh.
I don't know, faith,
Patient.
and I get it, but the frustration is a lot of things in the humanity that have to fight that.
How
But
was
now,
that? How
tell me.
was that feeling from your side? Because I remember a lot that there was a few people from Latin America, you know, from Peru, Ecuador, and so on, and a couple of Mexico, and that's it, trying to support. But there wasn't definitely more people supporting Theo Jung, you know, especially at that final stage.
Yeah,
You know that final stage was kind of intimidating because you two guys were like in the stage, like in kind of gig, you know, with cameras, one camera from you and one camera in the hands and so on. How was your feelings at that moment, you know?
actually, I appreciated a lot of be with you because I don't know. I'm comfortable with talking and making laughing, and I'm fine 10 minutes before, so I
Yeah.
was fine. I just worry about it because the last sample was AWST corner weld.
Uh-huh.
It's not common for me that kind of welds. So the AWS is harder to check the DVs, the A plus C plus B. Well, so
Uh-huh.
it's harder because it's not my common day,
Yeah.
and I was worried about that. But when I started, I saw the in front of the stage, and saw you and Patricia and a lot of guys,
Mhm.
people that I know, and I feel comfortable and say, okay, it's the final stage. I won.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. I won. So
Mhm.
Yes.
I
The,
relax
the
and
frustration,
start and finish.
the frustration is difficult, but both the winners and the losers per, pers- pursue perseguing the same
Mhm.
goal,
Chase.
the same goal, and that was interesting because
Yeah.
you both are winners. Well, no,
Yeah, more or less, you know, because I don't feel definitely. I was a third place, man, and I don't feel like a winner. I feel like a loser. I was the
Yeah.
third place in VT competition, and I recognize totally that,
Montoya
Lázaro Magaña rocked it.
is like the Cruz Azul. Montoya is like the Cruz Azul in Mexico. but in the ASNT, not in my
No,
neighborhood.
but keep in mind that's a worldwide competition. So
Exactly.
that's open. Of course, yeah, for sure was held in the United States, in Las Vegas. And yeah, for sure, the 90% of the people who compete that were from the United States. So it seems not too worldwide. It feels kind of like the NFL that United States is always the NFL worldwide winner. But uh, it was from AS&T, man, and AS&T is international. So nowadays,
Yeah.
believe it or not, Luis Montoya is the second place. You know,
Yeah,
so he's a sub
the big
champion.
difference it was around the $10,000 in the equipment. So
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
a
You
little, a
Not the
little
same, man.
difference. Little.
yeah, but yeah. It's kind of complicated. We need to review a couple of messages. Uh, there is anyone complaining about if we are talking in English or not at this point? Yeah, it's so weird. Thank you if you understand or not. I really don't care. Ariel Orlando is trying to get his first AS&T level 3 certificate and asking any recommendation for NDT exam level 3.
I just want to say,
You,
read all the books that they want to know.
Yeah.
The
you, you,
knowledge
can, you can read
is
you
that
can
is.
read the guide for developing certification exams
Mhm.
from ASNP. It's a good book.
Maybe perhaps the best advice that you can get is this from Luis. Study. I don't know what are you doing here. Just
Study
go
out.
outside from this broadcasting and study, man. You don't need to check this. You're wasting your time at this moment. You need to read and read and read. And after that, read, you know? Luis Gonzalez is asking, what is more complicated, certification or recertification by exam or endorsement? What
Certification.
do you think?
Certifications.
Yeah, our certification is
For
easier.
I'm not sure because
For
if
exam,
you, for example, for the certification, you take an exam, code exam, you know all, I don't know, your day per day use. For example, for me, API 1104.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I practice all days in this specification, welding specification.
Yep.
But for example, for a one endorsement, you need prepare in another code. Maybe I don't know. The people when change the code, maybe fear a new code or whenever, no?
Mhm.
But if you never use it, it's harder. But if you have to start to use it, like SME 9, uh,
Yeah,
section 9, if you use it, you can make an endorsement easier because you have to move it all days in in the
yeah.
same code.
Yeah, I remember uh, asked my authorized inspector,
Authorized
uh,
inspector, yep.
inspector, tell me, Oscar, I want to reserve, but I don't know what is the
package.
yeah I need. You can make with what code do you certify when you start? No, AWS. Now you are a asthma inspector, no? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead with B31.3, 31.4, and asthma nice section. And go ahead. It's only one code. Yeah, only with these three codes. But I don't know. For all people say it's really complicated for asthma code, but for this guy,
If you don't have a big knowledge about the topics, or if you don't have a background, it could be complicated. Complicated.
Yeah, it could be kind of tricky sometimes. Okay, we have more comments. Graciela, knowledge is power. Okay, knowledge is the key. I like it. Dave and M. Uh, JC Mar, experience both ways certification. I read this time was a little bit less stress, but the average failure I thought still higher. Well, there's a comment as well from Joseph Bray to Ariel. You would like to share study material. Thank you for that, man. And yeah, maybe something that play against us during our first attempt of everything, not just a certification test, but also, anything in the life, in the entire life, is getting nervous, and feel kind of some insecurities about yourself. So sometimes could be a little intimidating, just sit in that cold room with 3 or 4 cameras trying to chase all your movements and a computer, and there's so quiet and there's nobody around you. But you already know it's a kind of panoptic effect because there's a lot of maybe 2 or 3 cameras, and there's someone who is watching you all the time, at least for these prometric and personal systems. So yeah, it could be a challenge. Deal with your own feelings or your own thoughts, and definitely with your own nervous. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially the first time.
But
yeah. That's why I
yes,
say that it's more harder the certification over the recertification, because when you go in the first time to perform the exam, it's a new environment. The 3 cameras, so quiet and everything, so stressful. When you make the recertification or other certification the same place and the same time, it's more comfortable because you it's not your first time. So I think
yeah,
that
because
the first time every time is
the first
harder.
time you always have much more to lose than the second, the third, or whatever. But
Also,
the first
investment.
time, yes,
Maybe also investment feels harder the first time.
yes,
One
you
of
don't
one
have
of the
money.
last tests. Yeah, yeah. One of the last tests that I tried was the well engineering from
Yeah,
AWS well engineering, and I was convinced from myself since the first second that I start the application that I'm gonna fail. I was
yeah,
convinced myself that I'm gonna fail, but I'm just it's kind of pay-per-view. So I tried. I was, just checking what happened, but it didn't feel so hard. Lose that money, or at least I didn't feel that like I waste money because I was chasing just the experience. I didn't feel prepared. I didn't study anything before that, and I didn't pass, but I'm pretty sure that I didn't got like a zero. You know, so yeah,
yeah.
I feel like okay, was like kind of just for experience. Just for fun.
Yes.
But sometimes during the first
I
attempt,
pay to see. I pay to view the exam.
yeah,
I
yeah,
pay
it's a pay-per-view. But during my first attempt with ASNT that I failed my basic test, man, it feel like I really screw up. Like I waste my money and I waste my time and I feel like I'm crap right now. And there's a lot of people who just stay there.
and your
You
family
know,
depend on you,
say again.
and your family and depend on you. The
Yeah.
because the because the certification is a good probability to get more
Hmm.
more work or
Yeah, yeah,
work.
to have a better income or something like that. Yeah,
Yes,
and you
yes,
go outside and
because
fail and feel like that meme, like shame of you, shame on your cow, and it's like, yeah, I really screwed up that time.
Yeah, it's like a millionaire mind. When
Hmm.
you try to keep your money safe and you lost the exam, you fail everything in your mind. But
Yeah.
if you care, or it's not the care, but the money is not important in your life.
Hmm.
The exam, it's fine, it's how expert know. So when you make this start in this in ACNT or AWS, the first
Hmm.
time you're not rich, man.
No.
You just, if you lose, you're gonna lose $1,000.
Hmm.
So you worry about that, the time, the money, and everything. But when you won it, and then you go to the endorsement and the other certification, and you lose it, and say, nah, it's fine. I'm gonna, because you are have more in common now. So this is a millionaire mind. The the money is not important, so you keep it out the mind that.
yes, because it's not just the price of the exam, but also you need to pay the travel, tickets, hotel, and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And the price of the exam is I don't know. How comes it five? No, five
Roberto
hundred
dated
dollars.
a video like 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, more or less, about he's paying
Yeah,
$500 more or less.
more or less.
Man, sometimes
But
you can spend more in a dinner. Well,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
maybe not you, but Oscar,
yeah.
or at the
But
club.
so,
Well, yeah, I
sometimes
don't know, with a girl.
sometimes you need
In the
to
strip
pay
club.
for another things. I want to ask everyone watching us: do any of you have a passport? But you
I
have
do.
a passport. This
No,
passport.
no, I didn't have one.
Well, this is a new passport for the NDTeam Connect. Oye, faltó la musiquita, güey.
Ah, the
Dice,
man that I know that has more passport and that everyone in this world is Luis Montoya. I had just two passports, but I didn't receive that mine.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna steal one passport because I'm gonna be the antagonist of this story.
okay,
Yeah. This
okay, but
this
this is a
passport
new.
is a special passport. That is not so that.
I
No,
cannot see that.
this is more special.
I got one. Yeah, I got one as well. I got one,
Okay,
that one, and one. I can try to show you, but this is it's inside my safe. So yeah, yeah, it's kind of difficult. I really like that passport, man. How can we get one?
what?
Which one? The
That the red one, the NDTeam passport.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, of course.
What is the process to
It's
get one?
a good idea for to get a community in the team community. We are partners, and the passport for the NDTeam Connect 2025 was a good opportunity to get more friends and more experience with the best technicians in Latin America. And if just the people who travel to Colombia for the editing project can get this passport for because it's just for the people who go. to the NDTeam project.
Uh-huh.
And that's all.
Yeah, we need to go that password. So I would like to invite all the people who is joining us today. You need to log in and register at the NDTeam.mx. Try to log in. We got for free uh, exhibition floor. Okay, it's gonna be for a limited time, so please hurry and got your registration. Irving Moreno say, in my case, I felt that I lose the rhythm, study, and all the
Yeah,
administration during the test, time left, and answer questions. We commented this before several times that it's important to have this kind of rhythm, kind of strength, kind of maybe uh, agility. I don't know for test. Yeah, it is not about the test by itself, but it's more like
well, it's a good
think in a
strategy.
test way.
What do you think about the unanswered questions
No, it didn't work.
as a strategy to answer an exam?
The question and answer books from S&T.
No. The certification exam.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about of this strategy? I answered the question, but I don't have this answer for the next question and next.
Flag.
And yes,
You need to flag it and go to the next one. After that, you have time. Just go back and try to analyze because you're hurried. You're playing against the time. So you need to pay
I
attention.
try to answer that kind of questions and flat and
Mhm.
then return to check the question if the time is enough because you
There's
in my case I don't have enough time to answer the exam like I don't know in 30 minutes or something like that.
mhm.
I spend almost the time.
It's a good one because
The most time.
I have like about 3 years ago, more or less three, almost 4 years without make a certification test. I'm done. You know, so I'm not updated about this thing. Maybe I'm not in good condition physically and mentally to get this kind of test. But in my case, I started trying to take care and so worry about my time. And after that, after I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 tests and fail and pass sometimes, I'm pretty sure that I got this kind of a skill that do not take care a lot of time. Just read so quick and try to answer so quick, and that's it. Move forward, And one of the last tests that I did was infrared thermography. I tried to challenge stupidly and try to challenge myself that I can got these 90 questions in less than 30 minutes, and I ended tested less than 30 minutes, but I failed for 1 or 2 questions. That was the ego talking. That wasn't me. So I tried to do it again, and great. I passed definitely. It was amazing, and I spent about 45 minutes. But you know, sometimes hurry is not the good option. It's not the best option. And in the case of Prometric and Pearson, you got two different methodologies. You can flag the question, or you cannot simply just didn't answer that. Simply do not answer, and at the last part of the test, system gonna tell you, hey, you didn't answer that questions. Okay, so you can flag if you have doubts, or you cannot answer that, and you can go back and review it at the last part of the test.
When I was in Miami making the first AWS exam,
Uh-huh.
I didn't take the courses and everything. I just self my study, and when I was in AWS, they told me, man, the Part B is changed, so if you want, you can make the course. It's just 2 days and it's free. Okay, nights free, it's free.
Yeah.
Okay, and the course is not about the exam, the theory of the exam. It's about the how you have to
The
perform
strategy.
your exam, the
Mhm.
book, the samples, and everything, and how you can start to answer the questions with the
The
right
strategy.
time. Yeah, it's just a strategy. It's not about the WPS and PWHT and everything. No, it's
Mhm.
just how you can perform the or administrate your time to perform the
Mhm.
exam.
There's a fact, a very important fact that I realized maybe at the half of my testing career, the middle of my career, it was all the questions had the same value. You know, you can see a very complicated question that requests you to perform a lot of math and a lot of physics, and maybe you are so afraid of doing that. And you can see a simple, very simple question, like a yes or no question, and both of them have the same value, exactly the same value. So do not waste time just trying to answer the harder one first. Try to move quickly, and after that, you can just go back and try to answer that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we have more comments. Hector Ulises, hello from Tijuana, Baja California. So good. Graciela, okay, dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. Okay, I want mine. It's a Luis Gonzalez. Hello, friends. I just finished the webinar. So good, man. I'm so proud of you. I want the pink passport, please. No, it's not. It's not.
No.
Okay, they are all
No, it's
red.
not a GTV
Is
association.
no, no, no. It's not a. It's not a rainbow thing. No, no, no. That password that Montoya showed to us is a different thing. The password for NDTeam Connect is gonna be all red, and I'm pretty sure this is a very fancy color.
Yeah, excuse
Um,
me,
Yeah.
but it's a bienestar color.
yeah, yeah. It's the Morena's color. Yeah, it's a Morena's color.
No, it's like a Colombian passport.
It's like a Colombian passport, right? It's the red, more or less the
Yes,
same red.
yes. I
Yeah.
have. I'm afraid. I'm afraid because I don't know if the passports, the Mexico to Colombia, from Mexico to Colombia,
Yeah, they can say
they're
something.
permitted
Uh-huh. Is
in
this allowed or not? They can
yes,
say that that's kind of a
you
falsification or
are
something like that.
yes, yes. I'm afraid.
Luis, hey,
Uh,
you have to live the experience of being one of the best just by participating and having that passport as proof that you're among the best in Latin America. Carlos said you is to go on the team government and ask for it. Okay, yeah, yeah. You need to go to government office. Luis Gonzalez, in the case of exam, same thing that when we answer questions, we focus too much on what we understand or do not, do, don't know. Instead of addressing the topics you're most familiar with and then returning to those questions. Yeah.
I think it's a good point, no?
And sometimes if you pass the question, read the question and you don't understand or so harder and everything, you pass, and maybe 10 questions after you clear your mind and say, oh, I got the answer of the last one. So I prefer to pass and keep going, and sometimes unblock my mind and I go back the answer.
Yeah, and maybe you. I never recommend the full questionnaires for practice for the exam certification exam. No? Why? Because you addressing any idea and the mind it's complicated. If you
the,
remember metallurgy. Sí, sí, sí. O sea, your mind play with you, but no.
Your
But
mind is
the
playing
question
against
and
you.
answer booklets, the question and answer booklets, you give you skills. You can improve your skills with this kind of material because you can read more faster like in the past. You just try to use this kind of material to practice your reading and that's all. It's a good
I
material
think the
for that.
question and answer books help you to know what is your section, your
Stronger section or weak section.
yeah, your strength. Yes, yeah, exactly. The weak section, and start the study or perform more study, but it's not the same question. So you can feel the if you learn every questions, you can gonna pass the exam.
Even this kind of documents have a question that are not correct,
Yeah.
or has, for example, I took that radiographic testing refresher course in ASNT before my test, and I realized that, well, during that refresher course they provide more question and answer, and I find like two or three questions that was exactly the same the question answer book, but
Okay.
answers the right answer were different. So were different options. So it was like, okay, there's a contradiction, you know. And usually you can get
Okay.
contradiction in several parts. That was my metrics when I started uh,
Yeah,
finding contradiction in the material. I felt that I was ready to start to get the test.
yeah, there is it's like a marketing strategy because okay, you can take the reverse course with me with the ASMT, and you can improve your average. You can improve your your average
Hmm.
to probability to pass the exam.
Hmm.
It's like a commercial strategy.
It's a kind of help maybe because as well there's not a lot of money that you need to spend for buy this kind of books. How
Yeah,
much is it for a question answer books? About $30?
Yeah, 40.
30 to 40 depends if you're a member or not. Maybe it's not a lot of money, man. Especially, okay, maybe it is for us from Latin America, but for those guys who live in the United States, it's less than half hour working.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's to be max.
Yeah, it's nothing, you know. So yeah, uh, there's a lot of people who's trying to get the documents for free. I don't know anyone, at least in Latin America, who can prove that got the documents or the books like by piracy or in copies or something like that at grade or test. There's a lot of people sharing all documents, but maybe there's no one who's studying from those documents, you know?
Yeah.
But now
Because
in
Yeah.
informatics, you have a copy. I remember in the past, you need
yes, with
a
ASNT level three,
original copy. But now it's really, really, really simple because you can
no
acquire for in the black
market.
merchant market merchant.
No, man, it's not too easy.
Merchandise.
Actually, I think it's more difficult because if you got this, for a friend or something like that, you didn't buy that. You didn't buy that. You can use a Chrome reader, a Acrobat reader, or PDF, and you have a tool, a very special tool that is the searching bar at the right top corner.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And this bar is not in the parametric system. You need to scroll. It's all a scroll, and it's more difficult to scroll. You waste time scrolling or using the arrows in the keyboard. You know. So in my case, for example, I made that endorsement from aerospace like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I don't know, in AWS, and I was so pissed off because I cannot enter with my book. I tried to present to make the test with my brand new book, and I wasn't allowed because they say no, 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 you cannot enter with that book. But AWS told me that I can, that I was allowed to that. These guys at the Prometric are, usually they're angry all the time. It's so hard to deal with them. And they say, no, there's a book on the computer. And I was so pissed off again, is the ego, because I got 98. I definitely passed, but I got the 98. There was 2 or 3 questions just that I left. And I felt like, man, if I can bring my own book, I definitely got the 100.
Yeah.
But I can't
Yeah.
because they didn't allow me to enter.
When I
Well,
present the 1104 in CWI,
uh,
I have to buy the original book. So
almost $300, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
actually, when I pass the exam, I sell it in eBay. So
Oh,
because
good.
I have no good copies, but
Yeah.
in this case, it's good for me because I have the book,
Hmm.
the and I can search so fast. Actually, the 1104 is so easy to search everything,
Yeah.
but now in the parametrics and in person, it's not easy because you can search the words in the PDF. That's right.
Hmm. Yeah, you just try to track the keywords, and this is a good tool, especially in the field. When you're trying to deal with that code during a project, during a real project. But yes, you cannot use that tool during your test. So please keep in mind for all those people who's gonna try to grade this CWI exam or endorsement or something like that. Okay. What else? Do we have any comments at this point? Maybe people is afraid about trying to improve their English,
Yeah.
or they
Let's talk
definitely
about
cannot
the
understand us.
comments.
What do you say?
Let's talk about the comments, right?
Okay, maybe we need to go through final
And final the
comments.
session.
I just want to say something.
Yeah.
In English, a lot of people knows a lot of English, read or write, and understand a lot of English.
Always.
But all I think that 90% of the Latin America guys or people don't try to speak English because it's shame to
Mhm.
make the mistakes and grammar
Yes.
and everything. I only say, man, a lot of people around the world don't speak English,
Yeah.
don't know English. I have courses with Canadian guys, Singapore guys, and a lot of French guys, and don't speak good English. Just speak and try
Yeah.
to say something, and that's fine. So don't care if you don't speak a good English. Try speak English, and even you perform that, you're gonna better. And don't shame, and it doesn't matter. It's not your natural language, so don't care.
Yeah.
But
Do we can? Do
It's
you
not a
can?
competition.
No.
Not
But
an
man,
easy competition. Mhm.
is there maybe a real metric or objective thing so we can judge someone who really speak good English? because I deal with a lot of Texan
Not
people, and it's
really.
kind of hard to understand them. And they're from the United States, and you can deal
Scotch.
maybe with Scotch people, that it's so hard, man, to
Yeah.
understand as well. And
Yeah,
don't let me start with Indian guys or black guys who has several kind of words that it sounds so weird and it's so hard to understand it.
Yeah.
yeah,
And if you listen an American guy try to speak Spanish, it's the same thing.
Yep.
Just try to communicate your ideas, but sometimes you don't have enough words or to express the ideas, or you don't have the grammatical structure to express the ideas. But it doesn't matter. You express the idea.
I,
yeah,
I, I'm pretty sure that sometimes part of the problem is inside ourselves. And
Of
part of the
course.
problem is an insecurity that could be, started again like the fire from people like this freaking guy who try to judge us like, hey, why are you talking in English if you're Spanish? Man, because we can, first of all. Because we can, because we want, and because we are trying to do that, and that's it. We can understand among us, and that's it. We cannot, we don't owe you anything. So, and I'm pretty sure that, well, we can try to do it in other languages, and that's a skill. That's an achievement. Try to learn a different language that is not your mother tongue. And even if your mother tongue, if you try to develop a different languages, it's a good skill.
yeah,
But there's definitely there's people who has a very close mind or a very small mind sometimes, and try to choose the people's skills based it on his own insecurities and their own skills. So try to avoid listening this kind of bad comments. There's okay, and just improve and just do it. And I'm pretty sure that people gonna understand you. Maybe you have some problems with two or three words, but even in Spanish, we make a lot of mistakes speaking Spanish. If you speak with
Yeah.
somebody, with a foreigner who is trying to learn Spanish, and that people is trying to find some response and ask you about some grammar, just native speaking Spanish, you know about grammar, man. You know? It's the
Yes.
same for English speakers, it's the same for French speakers, from so on and so forth.
Yes. Beyond the curricular value, it gives you an opportunity to know more people and
Mhm.
more places, or I don't know, more places and more people, and it's a good experience, because even if you think that we 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 learn English, and we can present a NISM ASNT
Yeah.
or a certification. It doesn't matter, but it's a common um, so, common denominator,
Mhm.
um,
Common denominator.
for common denominator for us, and for that we are friends. I love
Yeah.
you guys.
Okay. Otaku.
hey,
I'm
Otaku.
gonna share a little history. My sister has a bakery in Miami, and obviously she speaks Spanish and speaks English, very good English. But in I don't know, around 5 6 years ago, some guy called her and asked about the cake and everything, and he is start to say, "Oh, but your English so bad. I can understand you and everything. It's so put it so ugly, man." So my sister say, "Okay, wait a minute. It's my bakery, so I don't care if you don't understand or is understand. It's fine. So actually, it's my second language. how many languages
Mhm.
do you speak? And he
Mhm.
say, I just speak English. So
Because
fuck off. I'm gonna sell you anything, and
Mhm.
try to learn
Yeah,
other language, and then call me and hung out.
yeah,
Yeah.
So you have to say the same thing. If
Yeah.
everybody say, why you try to speak English? Because I
yeah.
can. It's
Mhm.
my second language or third language. I don't care. I can do it. If you don't do it, so,
Yeah, I always remember an Scotch man told me, Oscar, your English is better than my Spanish. And
thinking about that.
if you know people, Scotch or American citizen, I don't know, people
Foreign,
another country, always you listen. Ayer estoy comiendo. It's normal. It's it's,
You can
it's
understand that.
common. Yeah.
yes, you can understand the point or the idea.
Definitely, there are people from
We
French,
are the
especially
same, no?
especially people from Paris, because not all French is the same thing, but in Paris, people is like, oh, you have to speak perfect French or don't speak French, and they're like, the Karens figure in the United States, like, this is America, you need to speak English. Yeah, definitely, there are people who has a very small mind, and these are people who really have troubles to trying to learn a different language, and there's a good skill. So maybe sometimes people are so worried about the accent, but man, everybody has an accent, and you
Yeah.
have to be proud of your own accent, because your accent comes from a lot of social things and history behind. You know, if you have a Chilango accent or a Regio accent or a
Ya te
you
la
know
sabes. Ya te la you know.
Colombian accent, I don't know. All the people has an accent, and man, trust me, this accent in another country is gold. If you know how to use that, it's pure
Oh
gold.
yeah.
Trust me. Okay. So you have to feel proud of your own accent. And if you are pronouncing different words, or a word in a different way because your accent, don't care. The goal of learning a new language is to just communicate. It's just about communication. That's it. You know?
In the social context, of course, but sometimes in the professional context, the people I don't know feel like superioridad. I don't know.
Mm.
To
They feel like
to
they're
to
kind of more than you because they can pronounce the words in a different
Hit
way.
people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with a good accent, but the good accent is I don't know, it's weird
But the
because
goal at the end of the day is just got a message. It's just understand what you're trying to say. That's it, and be clear. So yeah, again, you can talk with some guy from Texas one, or a California one, or I don't know, somebody from New York. They have different accents, so different accents, and
I I
they
want I
don't
want
care.
I want answer you the what about the guys who take the course, the English course? I don't know. It's not a commercial thing, but what about the guys who take the refresh course in
Hmm.
English or in
Hmm.
Spanish in USA with a Latin teacher?
They didn't realize that I'm Latin sometimes.
You,
I don't feel that I have the best English. I never study English. Well, I just attend like 4 or 5 sessions in Harmon Hall. That's it. The rest of my English was practicing a lot, and I'm pretty sure that I make a lot of mistakes. I have a lot of grammar mistakes. I try to make a lot of conversation nowadays. I'm working a lot with English. My English, I'm teaching a lot, and dealing a lot with people from other countries, and this allowed me to improve a lot. But sometimes they didn't realize that I'm from Mexico. I always tell them, okay. Sometimes you can note some uh, issues in my accent because, well, my first language is not English. It is in the
Okay.
second though, because my second language is Italian. It's not English, and I feel more comfortable sometimes speaking Norwegian than English. But yeah, English because I really don't like English, man. I don't like it, but it's useful. So we need to improve that. We need to practice that.
Yes.
Yeah.
My
But
second language is the F language.
the F language that we learn in the junior high
Yeah.
school, right? And
Yes.
the elementary school, actually. So
I'm a genius.
there- there's
Like
there's no
in F
problem because, for example, I had an experience some months ago in Houston, Texas. I taught for AMP. There was a 24 guys group. All of them, the stereotype of rednecks. All of them, 24 guys with Trump supporter, and that's it. That was maybe one of the best training courses that I ever had. I'm teaching. I was teaching them. They definitely realize that I'm not from there, but they have like any doubts that I'm okay. Maybe he's Mexican. I definitely didn't arrive to the classroom showing my Mexican flag. Don't care. They really would like to have information, and if you can't try to communicate that, it doesn't matter if you have a small accent or not. Sometimes people think that I'm from Texas. Maybe. Uh, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 times they ask me, okay, which part of Texas you are? Oh man, I'm from Monterrey. Well, we are almost Texas sometimes, but we are not Texas, definitely. So yeah, I miss that insecurity several years ago, definitely. And I keep learning. Definitely I keep. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a job around the 18 years ago, and my auditor, it was from British. It was British guys, and my English is so American, And when we started, they say, "Oh man, your English so American." So, nah. But then, past the time, I learned a little bit the British English, and man, I can speak with the British guy, French guy, Singapore guy. So it doesn't
Hmm.
matter.
Hmm.
You can do it, and it's the same for me. The English is not my. I prefer learn other language, but the
Hmm.
English is so helpful and the
Hmm.
word, so you
Yeah.
can do it. But I prefer learn other language. Uh, and I love the Spanish, and
Hmm.
actually the Colombian Spanish. I love it because our
The crosswords.
fireworks. Yeah.
The crosswords are amazing. There's no.
Yeah.
Maybe people may think that Mexican Spanish has amazingly good words to like crosswords or bad words, but man, Colombian Spanish is another level, you
Yeah,
know?
because it's a Spanish with the mathematics because you gotta
Yeah,
put it at 700 and ton of, so you can you can increase the bad word. So I love it the
yeah.
Colombian Spanish.
You can potential that like to a bad word power to 10, you know? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
every
Spanish is
lesson is
definitely
good.
so rich. So rich. And you cannot understand that until you start learning your second or your third language. That Spanish is so rich and you can communicate a lot of things, and there's a lot of synonyms, and there's a lot of things or ways to explain exactly the same specific thing, you know? And yeah, sometimes it's so comfortable. In my case, staying in another country sometimes, and if I'm getting angry, I cannot find another word but in Spanish to explain it, you know, or to send the fuck up somebody. So yeah,
Yeah,
so good. Okay,
that's right.
so final comments, gentlemen, until we can
Listen,
end today this broadcasting.
wait.
Oscar, final
Thank
comments.
you for stay with us and see you soon in the next English transmission.
So good, man. What about you, Luis?
Thanks a lot. Always is a appreciate the time with you. And sorry my bad words. I always say that about bad words.
Uh, it doesn't matter, you know. It's part of this feeling, you know. It's part of the of transmit information as well. Alonso,
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks, the people who view, they watching us,
uh-huh.
and we can see you. No, we are meeting the editing Colombia 2025.
Okay. So there's a last comment from Graciela. The person who speaks English but not Spanish will be kind and more. If they need technical information of you, like me in my job now, I need to communicate the quality topics and they put attention and try to understand. So good. Yeah, well, so amazing. That was 1 hour, 10 minutes more or less transmission today. So thank you everybody for joining us to this broadcasting. We are so excited, and we're going to try to repeat and repeat again in order to improve our English. And we would like to encourage you guys to do the same. Okay, try to practice, try to improve, and well, thank you so much for joining us today. Oh, there's a good comment from Mauricio Herrera. Great, Evan. I really appreciate you guys doing this in English. I believe English is awesome. Yeah, man. Thank you. He's a Colombian guy as well. He's
Yeah,
rock star in coatings, but especially in surface preparation. So,
yeah.
well, thank you for joining us today, and see you next week in a regular Spanish version and the team on Wednesday, right? Wednesday, 8
Yeah,
p.m.
for the
Mexico time.
Yeah,
And again, I would like to remind you guys that there's registrations for free to visit the exhibition floor during our event in Colombia. It's NDTeam Connect. It's the second edition of this event. It's going to be so good. You're going to find a lot of professionals there. There's going to be about 24 lectures with professionals from third parts of the world. And please not miss this great event. So visit ndteam.mx and register, log in and register for free for exhibition floor. And see you 25th and 26th July. Okay, Agora, Centro de Conversiones Agora, right?
Yeah.
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 So see you next week. Thank you for joining us today again, and bye now.
you guys.
Te lo juro, Cam. Los chetos gris oscuros son los buenos. No, hombre, güey. Los chetos chidos son los azul oscuro. Nada, güey. Checa. A mí siempre me habían dado chetos gris claro. Pero la otra vez probé unos chetos gris oscuro y dije... ¡Guau! Güey, entiende que no hay grises. Los buenos son los azul oscuro. Es más, deja tú los chetos, güey. ¿Doritos verdes o azules? No, hombre, para Doritos los grises, güey. ¡Guau!